Strane maite. Grazie. I didn't think I was going to be able to get this shot, but look, I got this shot. All right, everyone. I don't know if you would say that this is good news, but I guess I would. The good news is, I don't want to put this here. The good news is, I saw Marvels, so you don't have to. Okay? Wow. What a shit show. We're gonna talk about it. Obviously. First of all, I was not amped to see this movie because of how much the trailer annoyed me. I go to the cinema all the time, and by all the time I mean 2 times a month minimum. So I'm there a lot more than the average person, which I guess you can say is all the time. And I feel like every time I've seen a movie for the last 6 fucking months, maybe longer, maybe more like 9 fucking months, there's the goddamn trailer for the Marvels, okay? And I could tell, actually, from the trailer that this movie was going to suck. And I don't know why Disney is surprised by this fact. Like, if people can tell from the trailer that it's shit, it's shit. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. I will say this, though, and that is the fact that a lot of movies can be made to look good with a really badass trailer. And they actually often do that. Is what they do is they shoot a trailer to promote a movie that they want to make, and then they can kind of shop the trailer around and be like, oh, we make this, to the studios or whatever. But yeah, not I don't think you could have made an actually good trailer from this movie. But anyway, first of all, I just want to say, I'm not going to say the exact cinema I went to, but I've been noticing this happening more and more often. I actually went and complained, is that they didn't roll the previews. Excuse me, it's not the previews, it's the ads, the series of ads before the previews that are supposed to be played at the time that is specified for the movie to start playing. So it was supposed to be on those ads at 9:35, and by 9:45 I went and complained, and I was like, excuse me, like the previews aren't even rolling for the movie, and it was supposed to start 10 minutes ago. There's such a thing as LA time. I don't know that y'all who haven't been there would know that. I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't. There's probably New York time as well, but I haven't lived there. Anyway, LA time is anywhere from 5 minutes to 1 hour after the specified time. If you arrive anywhere from 5 minutes to 1 hour after the specified time, you're still on time. But this ain't LA, baby. This is Portland. Okay, so I fucking expect the goddamn advertisements that come before the previews to be rolling at the time specified as the show time. It's really not difficult, but anyway. Yeah, this movie sucked. I mean, I've actually gotten pretty good at, first of all, writing in the dark, because I write all my notes in the dark. I don't fucking use any kind of flashlight or anything of that nature. And I've gotten even better at drawing the eye roll emoji. The one that's like this, the one that's looking up. I don't know if it's going to pick up because this is dark, but the one that's going like this. I can't even do it. Hold on. Okay, the one that's going like this. So annoyed. Yeah, I'm really good at drawing that now because I drew it a bunch of times during this movie. Okay, I'm not even going to talk about the preview because I annoy myself how much I talk about the previews. We're already 5 minutes in. So now, right before I tell you about the movie, what the order of operation for showing movies in the theater is: first come the advertisements, then come the trailers, then come some more advertisements, and come some more trailers. I'm not exaggerating, okay? Go to a theater and fucking figure it out yourselves. So it goes ads, trailers, some more ads, more trailers, and then a concessions ad, and then there's a Regal Rewards ad if you're going to a Regal cinema. There are other distributors, but that's the one that I went to. So the start time was listed as at 9:35, but the actual movie, we didn't get the title screen until 10:02, which, needless to say, I was annoyed about. Okay. First thing I wrote was superhero fatigue is real. I don't know why Disney is like shocked. Maybe they're not shocked. I don't know. I don't know why they're surprised that this movie did so dismally in the theater when superhero fatigue has been a term being thrown around for like over a year now. So I don't really know what the problem was. Something I want to know is, why the fuck are all these American movies so insistent upon including characters that are British? Like, they always have to throw in characters with a British accent. And it honestly pisses me off. Because we ain't British. We American here, fam. I want to hear the Americans, okay? Sometimes it kind of makes sense. Like, there were a group of aliens that spoke in an interesting... They had very few lines. We're going to get to them in a moment. But they spoke in an interesting accent. It was clearly implied that they didn't normally speak in English, but it wasn't an English accent. They were just putting on an accent that made them sound like they didn't normally speak English, which, cool. But, like, I'm so sick of them, like, throwing in, like, peppering in these fucking British folk. And I know why that is, first of all, because it's popular at the time, or at the moment. It's also because, and the reason that there are so many goddamn English folk and so many fucking American movies is because them folks in London, they have better agents. They have better acting agencies than the ones here in the US, okay? So you're more likely to get signed, etc., and on an American movie if you're English, because they have better talent agencies, is what I'm saying. Bummer, but that's the fact of the matter. That being said, why can't they just put on American accents? I do not know what the insistence upon British accent is. You know what? I'm having a hard time talking about this movie because it sucked so much. Like, I've barely even told you anything about the movie. We're 8 whole minutes in because this movie was horrible. I wish there was a nicer way for me to say that. I honestly wish that, I'm going to get to some positive things all the way at the end of this video, but I wish that I had more positive things to say about it. And I do not. Okay? I don't like the constant, like, lettering of where everyone is, the constant, like, notes of where everyone is. It was like, earlier that day, like, it's annoying me. I thought it was kind of funny that they put Captain Marvel in Crocs. So, were they trying to make her be, like, relatable? I fucking hate Crocs, for the record. I truly do not know what this movie was even about. I mean, I know what it was about. I know that they, like, had steps, 1 through Z, 1 through 9 or whatever to perform, but, like, 45 minutes into this movie, I was like, what are the character arcs we're even looking for? What is everyone's goals? We're not, I was like, where the fuck are we going with this? Because it's, like, not fucking clear at fucking all. Listen, there's something in a movie, there's a point during the movie. It's called Fun and Games, and it happens right before the midpoint of the movie. And Fun and Games is when The main character has been in the new environment that he or she has been thrown into, and he or she has gotten used to it, and they're having fun, right? That's when the script writer and everyone gets to have a good time and do all their set pieces and do all their crazy shit and be like, look at all the skills that the main just want to make sure that everyone sees I'm wearing a swimsuit right now. Look at all the skills that the main character has gotten, and now he or she is good at it, and we get to watch them be good at it until the major turning point of the midpoint, which is happening real soon, okay? So, the first, 15 minutes of this movie... Oh my fuck. I forgot to look up her name. I am so sorry. Monica. Thank God. Monica, who's Teyonah Parris. I don't know if it's Tiana or Tiona, but I'm going to say Tiana. I'm going to say Tiona. Teyonah Parris. Captain Marvel, who is Brie Larson, and Kamala Khan. First of all, I don't know why the fuck you name a character Kamala. But I don't remember the actual young gal's name who played her. But she's called Miss Marvel. How fucking annoying is it that there's a Captain Marvel and a Miss Marvel? Miss me with that shit. It's obvious that the Miss Marvel is a teenager, and a teenager would come up with some stupid name like that, but it's too fucking confusing. And I didn't even look up the writers of this. I should have, because I should have called them out right here. But what the fuck? Maybe that was in the comics, but guess what? I don't care. It's too goddamn confusing to have two fucking characters that basically have the same exact name. That is what you learn on day one of script writing. I guess they weren't there. What happened was all three of them first of all have powers, but that was barely established before they all started getting switched up whenever they used their powers, and they were barely figuring it out. And it was so chaotic. It was really chaotic, honestly. It was so chaotic, it just didn't even also really make a lot of sense. Obviously, they tried to make sense of it later on, but the thing you're supposed to do in Act 1 of a movie, okay, which is typically about 15 to 20 minutes long, maybe 10 to 20 minutes long, 30 goddamn minutes if you're James Cameron, but I digress, is you set up the world you're living in. You set up your main characters, you set up what they're like, you set up what they need to do, you set up their want, and you at least imply their need that they're going to fulfill by the end of the movie. None of that happened in the first 20 minutes of this movie. Zero. Okay? So it was watching them just wreak havoc, switching places, trying to fight bad guys was just honestly kind of stressful, and it was not fun for me to watch. I did enjoy Kamala's parents, though. They could have been better. We're going to get to that later. I thought it was in extremely poor taste that they called those green aliens with curly ears Kree. The dumb shit who wrote that script, excuse me, I think it was two dumb shits. Do y'all have the internet? Do you use the internet? Because there's actually a Native American tribe that's in America that are called Kree. But y'all dumb shits decided that would be a good name for the alien race. I guess that happened in the last movie too, because they were in that one too, but I barely remember that movie because it sucked so much, and I don't even know if it was said in that movie because they played such a minor role. But do I need to reiterate that this movie was a mess? Because it was a mess. And anyway, okay, so I thought that was in pretty poor taste. I liked Kamala's parents and her bro. I thought they were fun. They might have been the only thing in the whole movie that I liked. However, the lines written for them were not that good. those were pretty tiny roles, okay? They didn't have a lot of screen time, but they did have somewhat significant amount of screen time, and their lines sucked. Like, they could have done so much with that. They could have made them the comic relief throughout the entire movie, and it would have been hilarious. I don't know if y'all have seen Bend It Like Beckham, but I love the Indian family in that movie. They're being hilarious, and they're one could argue that it's like a stereotypical depiction of them, but like it's kind of accurate. And I love how Disney's like, oh, hashtag diversity. Let's make sure we hire the Indians that have the lightest complexion humanly possible. Shadeism is a real thing in Indian culture. So Disney's all like, oh, we're promoting hashtag diversity. Okay, let's not even continue with that. I don't feel like it. Okay. I'm such a bitch. But like something I do in movies now is I try to do audible yawns. I'll just be like, even if I'm not really yawning, I'll be like, because I feel like it's necessary to convey how fucking boring a movie is. And if the movie isn't entertaining you, well, I hope to God that your audience is. And I also hope you're not going on your phone. But you know what? If I had had my phone, I would actually have gone on it during this movie. And I never go on my phone during movies. I did go on my phone during Strange World, though, but that was because I was the only person in the theater. So I wasn't disrespecting anyone. But just saying, I really wanted my phone, even though I left it at home. Okay. What is with these jokes never delivering? Never being funny. I do not recall the last time I heard a joke in a movie that was actually funny and that people actually laughed at. I was one of 3 people in the theater, and I think that Disney actually made a smart move, and I thought I thought it would be smarter for them to pull it from distribution, but I think that they actually decrease the amount of screenings they're gonna have. I really do. Bummer, but probably a smart move, because aren't they losing money if they keep a movie in the theaters that is not like collecting a profit? Question mark. Okay, alright, so we're gonna talk about this again. I haven't talked about it yet, but what the fuck was going on with Captain Marvel and Monica, okay, Brie Larson and Teyonah Parris? Because that whole character, like, drama, like, character backstory didn't make any fucking sense. I could have sworn in the last movie that the young girl who was like 5, 6, 7 years old, maybe 8, I could have sworn she was mixed race. She looked like her mama was black. It looked like she had a white daddy. Cool. But then we get Teyonah Parris, who is clearly not mixed race. She just said another superpower she has. She can just like swap race over time. But anyway, okay, that wasn't even the only problem though. Guess what? I looked up their ages. Ms. Teyonah Parris is 36. And Ms. Brie Larson is 34. So why the fuck? How? That doesn't fucking work. At one point, Brie Larson's character was like, to Teyonah Parris' character, she was like, hey, I changed your diapers, moron. Like, do you think that we are stupid? That's a conclusion. That's one thing that I liked about this movie, is that I came to the conclusion that Disney and all these big movie studios are really truly assuming that their audiences are stupid. That we're stupid as fuck. That they think that we're gonna, and how many years has it been since Captain Marvel left little baby Monica? 10? Yet she aged to be 2 years older than Captain Marvel? Like, what in the fuck? It doesn't make sense. Like, did they think we weren't gonna notice that they were practically the same age, and it didn't make any goddamn sense for Tiona, for Monica to be calling Carol auntie. That shit pissed me off. They really think we're stupid. Truly. So fucking dumb. Listen. I love cats. I do. I have 2 cats. Y'all who are my real fans already know that I have 2 cats. Okay? And I would love to see cats on a movie screen. Why not? What I don't fucking want to see and what I don't love is CGI cats. Which is pretty much all we got throughout the entire movie was CGI cats. If you're gonna put cats in a movie, make them real cats. They also weren't even real cats though, because they were these horrible, disgusting, like, tentacle monsters that would, like, have tentacles come out of their mouth and they could just, like, eat people, but not even really eat them, just, like, store them within their teeny tiny little kitten bodies. Didn't make sense. It wasn't cute, and it looked like shit. So, there's that. There was this whole, like, part where Captain Marvel was being called the Annihilator by this one planet whose AI system she ruined. And the woman that was, like, strong-arming that whole quest to, like, find Carol and find Captain Marvel and kill her for revenge kind of looked like a dime store Storm from X-Men. And she was also British, a little fucking L, but it just wasn't really making sense. So the 3 of them were having trouble switching places when they used their powers. Also, this woman was mad because Captain Marvel had ruined her planet, and they were trying, and there were also these, like, magical bracelets that, like, Kamala, of which Kamala had one, and the dime store Storm had the other one. And it was just like, it was not making sense, bro. It was not making sense. It was not, there was, like, nothing that I wasn't rooting for anyone. I didn't particularly want any specific thing to happen other than for the movie to end. It just didn't really, it was just a mess, honestly. I want to say this, and I'm being serious about it, is I don't want to hear Beastie Boy songs in movies anymore. I'm tired of them. And I don't think their music is that good. There, I said it. Okay? I said it! I'm real sick of the tragic origin story, too. That shit is so stupid. How many fucking times do we need to watch that? How many fucking times does that need to happen to a character within the Marvel Universe, within the DC Universe, within the comic book universe? Like, I don't care. Who cares? No one, because this movie didn't even make a profit. Sorry, but it's true, okay? Trying to think of anything else I can say. You know, there's not much to say. Oh, God. Yeah, oh, okay. At one point, they went to this planet. I am not kidding you. This is gonna sound like I'm making this up, and it didn't happen, but it did. At one point, they went to this planet where everyone could only communicate in song. They were speaking English, but they could only communicate with singing. Except for the fucking goddamn, like, prince that Brie Larson had actually, in fact, married. But she basically said that she did it out of convenience, which I really didn't appreciate. She did it to help him out or some shit. It was fucking stupid. So basically she married this guy on another planet out of convenience, and she showed up when she felt like it. She's a deadbeat wife. Yeah, didn't appreciate that. Didn't appreciate the fact that Monica didn't have a father. So she didn't have a father, but she was boo-hooing about her auntie not having been there because she had to fucking save the world. Excuse me, she was boo-hooing about her auntie that is in fact 2 years younger than her. I know that's possible, but it just didn't fucking work in this movie. Go woke, go broke. I don't know how many times Disney needs to have that lesson rammed into its brain. Also, like, basically, if you wanted to fully understand this movie, you kind of would have benefited, if I really wanted to fully understand this movie, you kind of would have benefited from, like, being familiar with these characters' stories. Like, I'm not trying to fucking do homework about a fictional story about comic book characters so that I can go to the cinema and understand the movie better. Like, that shit's stupid. I will do homework about an actual movie, a movie that's based on an actual true story, obviously, because that's actually interesting. And if it's based on a true story, cool. It's cool that they made a movie about it, you know. But it's different if it's a stupid-ass fictional comic book story that barely anyone cares about. I thought this vid was going to be longer, but because the one I made about Little Mermaid was way longer. But this one's not even going to be that long, I guess, because there's not that much to say. Okay. I will get to what I liked about this movie. Maybe. Okay, one thing I will say before I get to what I liked about this movie is I just looked at the trailer on YouTube for Marvels, the one that's been out since, I don't know when it came out, but that has 24 million views. Okay? So, it's just, the math ain't mathing here, and I hope that y'all know this, I hope that y'all understand this about YouTube videos, is that, like, so say it does, in fact, have, I think it does, in fact, have 24 million views. However, if it has that many views, when it's only been out, you know, the trailer on YouTube has only been out a few months, then why the fuck would it have performed so poorly? Why the fuck did so few people actually physically get their booties in the theater and see the movie? That's what I mean by it ain't mathing. You see what I mean? Is that, like, I know for a fact that, you know, obviously a trailer put on YouTube by Disney is going to get put in the algorithm, it's going to get promoted, it's going to get views. But that doesn't mean that it's then also going to make a profit because it got 24 million views. Probably before the movie actually even came out. I think the reason this movie failed was because it sucked, but also because the trailer sucked, and also because Disney is trying so hard to be #woke. And it's just not working. And I wish it would stop. I really do. Okay, there was supposed to be a part where, spoiler alert, you know, we're this far already, but spoiler alert, Monica either dies or gets pushed to an alternate reality, and Captain Marvel can't save her. She tries really hard to save her, but she doesn't make it in time. the timing and the pacing of that, and the entire movie before it, were all so off that I think even if you liked this movie, you would have found that scene to have been off, and the emotions that were being attempted at being conveyed were not there. I wrote die already in my fucking notes, dude. I was real sick of this movie. Okay. Also, it didn't make sense at the end because Kamala just went back to Earth, this 16-year-old girl who has never really been a quote-unquote superhero, barely been a quote-unquote superhero, just was on this, like, spaceship, and she magically knew how to fly it back to Earth from, like, some other galaxy. That didn't really make sense to me, but hey, a lot of this movie didn't make sense. What I liked about this movie, and I'm being serious about this, was I actually really did like the credits. They had some cool graphics going on during the credits, so I enjoyed those. I like the length. I'm glad that this movie was only an hour and 45 minutes long, because I feel like really overly long, overly drawn out movies are really popular right now, and that's super obnoxious to me. But I'm glad that this one was only an hour and 45 minutes. Let me tell you, it felt like longer. I liked Kamala's family, like, on paper. Like, they seemed like cool characters. Unfortunately, the script didn't really deliver for them, so the actors couldn't really deliver. Like, I feel like, well, it is obvious because we just had the giant writer's strike, is that, and I don't know why this is, but the big movie studios are still not understanding the necessity of there being a good script to start. It is necessary to have a great script that hits all the plot points at the right times, okay? Sometimes I put a longer towel in there and I stretch like this. But the movie studios still don't get it. They're like, oh, yeah, well, it's good enough, let's go. Oh, yeah, well, okay, yeah, sure, it works, let's go. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. So, I like, and I'm being serious about this, alright? I like that this movie failed. I really did. Like, I was kind of borderline not going to see it if it had performed decently or it had even performed well. Like, I probably wasn't going to see it. But when I heard that this shit tanked at the box office, I was like, I gotta go. I'm serious. Because I like it when movies fail. I like it when really big budget movies from powerhouses like Disney absolutely fail, because it gives me hope that they can learn from their mistakes. I already have a feeling that they're not going to, but isn't that what failure is supposed to do to you? Aren't you supposed to learn from what you did wrong in order to try to start doing things right or better or in a different manner than you did before? I don't think Disney knows that. I really don't. I didn't even really like the production design. Didn't really like the costumes. That's normally something that I at least have something positive to say, but Didn't really like them. I hated the CGI. Y'all know that I have a fucking vendetta against all CGI. But like this CGI, not all CGI, because y'all know I'm a fucking avatar. But anyway, I didn't like the CGI. Didn't like the cats. There was not clear character development. There was not clear character development or character arcs. Okay, so a character arc is what the character is supposed to experience over the duration of the movie. Okay, I wish I was doing a live stream right now so y'all could give me an example, but because I always use the same examples of the movies that I like. Let's talk about Die Hard because Christmas is coming up. So in Die Hard, what is his name? John? Oh my God, y'all! I haven't seen it that many times. Okay, sorry. In Die Hard, he has to do this massive task. His want and need are different, right? He wants so desperately to get back with his wife, but what he needs to do is stop that terrorist attack from happening. You see what I'm saying? That's not even the best example. Let me think of another example. The want and need being different. I always talk about E.T., so I don't want to talk about that. What else? Listen, do you guys understand what I'm saying? That the want and need of the characters are different, and the character is usually working the whole movie desperately to try and get his or her want, his or her desire. But by the end of the movie, he or she has likely accomplished that, but understands that this, that, or the third is what they really needed. This, that, or the third is really the important thing that they should have been working towards the whole time. Do you see what I'm saying? Fuck, I'm so sorry I can't think of an example. I'm tired. Let me try to think of an example. We almost up to 40 minutes. Go us. Okay, Okay, well, a more recent movie that came out that I really liked was Megan. I really did enjoy that movie. And so we have Allison Williams, who's kind of the main character, but you see that? These toys are so fucking cool, dude. Anyway, so I forgot her name in the movie, it doesn't matter. Allison Williams is this auntie who gets custody of her niece because her sister dies in a tragic accident. So her want is to successfully launch her robot, which is Megan. And she thinks she can do that with the help of her niece. But her need is that she actually needs to be engaging with her niece and not engaging with her niece with Megan, which is what ends up happening, obviously. Okay? Because it's a scary doll movie, you know. I'm trying to think of another example. But that's, you see what I mean? Is that the want and the need are different throughout the movie? Let me think. I don't want to do some shit that everyone always talks about, like Star Wars or something. It gets fucking annoying. Obviously, I'm just enjoying being on camera right now. Because I was like, I'm going to try to not get so pumped up and be a little bit more relaxed in this one. So I'm succeeding. Let me think of one more, and then we'll call it a night. Well, I love Christmas movies. I love the Christmas. I'm so excited for Christmas. Are y'all excited for Christmas? Trying to think of Christmas movies I love. I love a lot of them. I love Catch Me If You Can. I love It's a Wonderful Life. I love Elf. Why don't we talk about Elf? So, in Elf,
Buddy the elf, the main character, his want is to reunite with his father and have this magical, his biological father, and have this magical new relationship with him. But his need is to actually kind of reintegrate into human society and not elf society and really start being a human, which obviously he does. I love that movie. Let me tell you all something real fucking cool about Will Ferrell is that I assume it was the same studio that made the first Elf, but I don't know how much money they were offering him, but they offered him millions of dollars to make Elf 2, and he was like, nope. No way. Don't care. I'm not doing that. I'm not fucking ruining Elf 1. So he denied them. So good for him. Okay, I think that's everything I want to say. I advise you not to watch Marvels. Maybe we should all just start not watching these
fucking cuckoo superhero movies that everyone's tired of. Bye!